Struggles and it's Monday, it's Monday, it's Monday. Big up all your wholesales, Grenada Caracol PT. Good morning to everybody joining us on Good Morning Grenada this morning. It is the start of a brand new work week. It is Monday, July 6th, 2020. Hope everybody had a peaceful, restful, productive weekend. Hope everybody is ready to get this week off and running. It's going to be a wet one here in the Isle of Spice, so prepare for that. Good morning to all the folks joining us. Grenada, Caracol, PT, Martinique, 473. Whether you're in the diaspora or here at home or you're outside there waiting to come home, wherever you are this morning, good morning to each and every Grenadian around the world this morning. I have to big up my people. Good morning to those of you joining us on the GBN Television Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, www.gbn.gd. Those of you watching on GBN channel 7, 11 or 20, and the folks always logged on to Classic 105.5, 105.9, Hot 98.5, 98.7. Good morning to all our regional brothers and sisters, whichever part of the Caribbean you are. Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Antigua, Anguilla, Dominica, Barbados, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, Bermuda, Puerto Rico, St. Bart's, Tortola, U.S. Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Guyana, Venezuela, Suriname. Yeah, man, I think that's most of us are saying St. Kitts and Nevis this morning. Good morning to all our international viewers and listeners, whichever part of the world you are, the US, the UK, Switzerland, Sweden, Canada, China, Australia, the North Pole. Good morning, Santa Claus. Good morning, everybody. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Let's do this. It's time for the word of the day. The first word of the day for the week is bailiwick. Bailiwick, B-A-I-L-I-W-I-C-K, bailiwick. It's a noun which means a person's area of skill, knowledge, authority, or work. A person's area of skill, knowledge, authority, or work. Bailiwick nowadays means one's area of skill or knowledge, and less commonly its original sense, which is a district within which a bailiff has jurisdiction. Bailiwick comes from Middle English word, which is a compound noun formed from bailiff, which is an officer of the court, an official with minor local authority, and wick, which is dwelling, home, village, town, or city. It entered the English in the mid-15th century. Word of the day this morning, bailiwick, B-A-I-L-I-W-I-C-K, a noun which means a person's area of skill, knowledge, authority, or work. An example of the use of the word, he was spooning up jello but talking about music, which is his bailiwick if it's anybody's. Another example of the use of the word, I wasn't surprised to see him there because this was an action venue that was right in his political bailiwick. Word of the day this morning, bailiwick, B-A-I-L-I-W-I-C-K, a noun which means a person's area of skill, knowledge, authority, or work. And as you get your Monday off and running, the thought for today, you don't always get what you wish for, but you get what you work for. You don't always get what you wish for, but get what you work for. Put in the work, put in the dedication, put in the hours, put in the minutes, the seconds, the time, the days, weeks, or years that you need to get what you want. We can wish on a falling star. We can throw a coin into a wishing well. It's left up to the universe whether it grants us or not. But once we work towards something, 99.6% of the time, we'll get what we work for. So you don't always get what you wish for, but you get what you work for. Let's see what's celebrated today. Today it is International Kissing Day. International Kissing Day. No matter which type of kiss you prefer, July 6th is a perfect time for you to celebrate this simple but powerful gesture. From French kissing and a formal kiss on the cheek to a kiss hello and a kiss goodbye, kissing is an age-old practice with significance that extends far beyond just romance. It is International Kissing Day, but don't just go kissing any and everybody, okay? Gather all your troops, not gathering, gather all your troops and kiss responsibly. I like it. Kiss responsibly on International Kissing Day, right? Family members alone, we're still in COVIDious times. Take all your time with International Kissing Day. Commemorate it, but commemorate it responsibly. Yep. Make sure you know where the person face come out. Let's put it that way. If you're not sure, stay far. Yeah? All right. Yeah, we'll work with that one day. And today it is also Fried Chicken Day. Fried Chicken Day. Fried chicken's greasy, delicious, indulgent comfort food enjoyed all over the world. It was an expensive delicacy up until World War II, but thanks to mass production techniques, we're now able to indulge ourselves on the cheap in almost any city in the world. So today, on July 6th, celebrate Fried Chicken Day by getting your buckets of chicken and indulging just a little bit. Okay, all right, say no more. I'm gonna fry some chicken later. Yeah, okay, all right, I got this. Listen, fried chicken ain't going nowhere, okay? Fried chicken is a delicacy. Fried chicken is here to stay, just like the mosquitoes. Fried chicken is here to stay. So let's just celebrate Fried Chicken Day and relax yourself, yeah? Whether you want to fry it yourself or you want to buy it outside, let's celebrate it. Let's see, that is all the time before we go to the news, but I just want to make an appeal. This morning, while I have your attention, let me see how I should say this. All right. Let good sense prevail. We, Grenada specifically, around the world, but let's zone in on home. We have been hit by a number of protests fighting for what we call justice. But in doing so and letting your voices be heard and taking a stance against what you see as an injustice, let good sense prevail. It's one thing to protest and ensure that the powers that be understand where you're coming from, and it's another thing to just do it for doing its sake. Let's take our time. Let's seek what we need to seek when it comes to justice for whomever or whatever, but let good sense prevail. Please, I beg of thee. All right, it's time for the morning edition of news for those of you on radio and those of you on our visual platforms. Let's get into the week in review. This is Good Morning Grenada on Classic 105 Hot 98 GBN. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
First off, as we would recall, last weekend was marred by a tense standoff in the upscale neighborhoods of Fort Judy and Egmont Point. This as members of the public rallied in support of a contractor who claimed that he was beaten by a family of 4 following a vehicle accident involving a dog. Christelina John was there as the crowds converged and sent us this report.
We want justice when we want it right now. We want justice when we want it right now. We want justice. We want justice.
A rapid response by members of the public for a peaceful protest in support of contractor Evan Smith. His wife told the media on Friday that he was beaten by a Caucasian family in Fort Judy last Thursday. There was a call to action.
Come to change the culture. Grenadian culture is Grenadian culture. They come to live with us. We didn't come here to live with them. And if they don't like it, take your bag and go. Take your bag and go.
But we realise it's not a black-white thing. It's something that's happened that shouldn't have happened. But, we're all here together.
The whole march here has nothing to do with race. I think had such situation happened to a black person who would have committed it and justice was not being served, I think Grenadians would have actually taken a firm stand.
Plans for the protest was announced on Saturday morning. Organizers described the support as overwhelming, considering the time frame within which it was organized. Activists Michelle Sabrina Alexander and Dr. Augustine Pandrew made it clear that the march was non-political.
Just to make it clear, we are not against the police, we are not against any political administration, we are not against anybody. It's unfortunate, it's sad to see that one man was beaten by 4 persons and no justice was served. It begs the question, why do we have watchman justice for the white people and legalistic justice for our own black people? Because if it was the other way around, we know what the situation would have been. We know that that black person would have been behind a cell, and that's all we're asking for. All we're demanding is justice for that family.
You didn't come here today to support any one of us. You came here to support justice. Justice for all. And we have to send a message loud and clear.
Hallelujah.
All right? That people, regardless of who you are, you need to respect other people. You need to respect Grenadians.
Yes.
And wherever you come from, and us Grenadians, we need to also respect them.
Mr. Smith's wife has led the campaign to ensure that some form of action is taken after she was allegedly told that it was a civil matter which the family needed to handle on their own. The case has garnered regional and international attention. Local media houses have been contacted by journalists and civil rights activists from Guyana, the U.S. and the United Kingdom, seeking information on how they could contact the family and inquire about how they could assist. Christelina John, GBN News.
Well, the public seemed to have been outraged by reports from the family that they were told that they'd need to file a civil case on their own if they wanted redress in the matter. Some persons felt that if indeed the family was told so by the police, then it was apparent that justice would not be served. Some were of the view that there should have been a detention of the alleged perpetrators. Following the protests, police announced that charges had been laid against Donald Kavanagh and Sarah Hutton, and they will appear in court on July 28. On Monday, the Acting Commissioner of Police, Edwin Martin, sought to bring about clarity on the situation. He explained that there's a process involved in laying charges against any accused person, and the fact is that the Smiths had been given a medical form, which means that the process was in train.
Completion and return of a medical form is pivotal in determining the extent of harm caused and therefore the type of charge that should be brought against an alleged perpetrator. Therefore, charges could not be laid prior to the receipt of a medical form. It should be noted further that the police authority allows us for detention of persons in suspected criminal activity for up to 48 hours. Thereafter, without sufficient evidence for charges to be laid appropriately, the detained individual will have to be released. Note that 48 hours after the occurrence of this incident, the police was not yet in receipt of the medical form.
The commissioner appealed for calm and urged the public to continue to allow the system to work.
Following the subsequent receipt of the completed medical form and a review of statements and interviews of eyewitnesses, the police has since arrested and charged 2 persons. Sarah Hutton and Donald Kavanagh have been arrested for causing harm. They have since been released, however, on bail in the sum of $10,000 with one surety. This offense carries a maximum penalty of $3,000 or imprisonment for 1 year or both. The other traffic-related issues in this matter is still under investigation, and a clear determination has not yet been made.
Meanwhile, the president of the Grenada Bar Association, Mrs. Lisa Taylor, has been urging the public to let good sense prevail as the law takes its course. She says, while many seem to lack faith in the system, she was confident that the laws will be observed through all facets.
So I am confident. I know I've seen some expressions that suggest that people don't have that confidence. I am confident that the system that we operate under must do its job. I am confident that the policing work, notwithstanding certain statements I have heard credited to the police that, if they are true, seem quite misinformed and not a true statement of the law. But again, I don't have all the facts. But I am confident that based on the outcome of the police investigation, the right charges will follow and the system will work.
Ms. Taylor notes that it's an emotionally charged situation, but she says people need to allow for due process.
The people are entitled to bail like anybody else, regardless of the inflammatory or apparently an inflammatory situation which gave rise to this incident, and all of the other sentiments and emotions that are rightly or wrongly roused. But the system has to work, and we have to give it space to work. We have to be confident that the police will do what is right and just under the law. And we also have to be mindful that both the victim, allegedly, and the alleged perpetrator or perpetrators have the benefit of the law, have the protections of the law, and we should make sure. To me, the source of my energy would be, as a concerned Grenadian citizen, to make sure that the system works.
And during the week, reports surfaced that Mrs. Smith had allegedly hit Sarah Houghton, the spouse of Mr. Donald Kavanagh. Media outlets were buzzing with reports that charges would have been laid against her as a result of that alleged altercation. We asked Sherian Blackman-Stephen to work the lines and to tell us what she found out.
Well, what I can tell you is that there's never been a dull moment as far as this last 7 days have been with this case. I am following reports that charges could be laid against Nicole Smith, the wife of Evan Smith, who was allegedly physically assaulted by a Caucasian couple at Fort Judy last week. It is being claimed that Mrs. Smith physically attacked Sarah Houghton, the wife of Donald Kavanagh. Those two have been charged for allegedly attacking Smith's husband at Fort Judy last week, Thursday. I reached out to the head of the Community Relations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, Superintendent Vanny Cowan. He said that up to the time of our conversation, no charges have been laid against Mrs. Smith. We then contacted Mrs. Smith and asked her about reports that she was facing charges. She indicated that she had no such information and directed me to speak with her attorney, Derek Sylvester. When I telephoned him at his office this afternoon, Sylvester's response was, and I quote, "I have no such instructions," end of quote. The attorney did, however, say that he has since filed and served a civil suit against all 4 members of the family who allegedly attacked Mr. Evan Smith. Kavanagh and Houghton will appear in court on July 28th. Sherian Blackman-Stephen, GBN News.
And we'll tell you about that young man who found himself on the other side of the law in just a bit. But first, at the start of the week, people here were told they can't live in the protective bubble forever. It was also announced that only chartered flights would be allowed into the country. The pronouncements came from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell in a national address.
As of Tuesday, June 30th, the curfew is extended from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. until July 7th. However, the country's borders will remain closed to commercial flights.
Our protocols may be perceived as rigorous, but they have to be, because public health and safety are at risk. We have tested and evaluated the protocols and identified areas for improvement. Therefore, for the immediate future, Grenada will only continue to welcome chartered flights, and these offer greater levels of due diligence with respect to the established protocols, which include testing before departure, testing upon arrival, and agreement to bear the cost of quarantine. Commercial airlines have thus far not agreed to make it mandatory for passengers to test prior to travel, and this is contrary to Grenada's protocols.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, in his national address delivered on Sunday, cited daily reports of increased rates of infections, particularly in the United States, which is one of Grenada's main source markets for visitors, as largely responsible for government's decision. He said they continue to work on finalization of protocols before the country welcomes commercial flights.
Many are wishing we can remain in the protective bubble that has kept us safe since March, and that we can maintain the COVID-free status announced earlier this month. However, This is not a practical, long-term option, as Caribbean countries may not have reached consensus and when we reopen more borders. But given the importance of tourism, this is generally regarded as one of the critical milestones in the effort to restart economies. The timing, however, must be right, and public health remain of paramount importance.
Training sessions have been organized for workers in the accommodation, transport and food and beverage sectors as Grenada prepare to enter the next phase in this fight against COVID-19. The Prime Minister commenced the COVID subcommittee headed by the Minister of Health, Nicholas Steele, as he outlined what can be expected in the weeks ahead.
The COVID subcommittee is expected to wrap up its work at the end of July. Thereafter, government decision-making on matters such as protocols, regulations, quarantine, and testing will be guided by a national advisory committee. This committee will draw upon the expertise of some of the same persons who have been involved thus far, but our approach will be different. The details will be announced later when we have finalized the composition of this new advisory body and the terms of its engagement.
Cherian Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Akim Andrew is facing a new set of charges. His story of pretending to be a medical doctor and once a policeman earlier this year generated quite a stir. He escaped imprisonment as the court granted him clemency. However, he was back before the court on Thursday, charged again for fraud. Cherian Blackman Stephen continued to cover the court beat, and she had this dispatch.
Akim Andrew was denied bail and remanded to prison on Thursday and will return to court on July 20th. On Tuesday, Andrew was arrested and charged for the offense of fraud by false pretense and made his court appearance at the Magistrates Court in St. George. GBN spoke with legal attorney representing Andrew, Jerry Edwin, who said his client says he's innocent of the charge.
He tells me that the funds he has received in this case, because he admits, I've received funds from this Chinese businessman, but this is a payment that he gave to me. So the matter is a little complicated. There are some complex issues here that I would want to get to the bottom of. Because, you know, a bad dog has a reputation already. So that if someone says, I was bitten by the bad dog, one is likely to believe it. In this case, Akim Andrew's reputation precedes him.
Edwin said his client wants to prove his innocence this time.
A new allegation has been made that Akim defrauded a Chinese businessman of some $3,000 while on bail for another allegation that he had defrauded another good citizen of Grenada of $250. Now, taken together, it creates an image of a non-repentant young man, of someone who is bent on defrauding vulnerable people. However, Akim Andrew is the kind of individual who, when he does something and he's apprehended, he will come forward and admit his guilt. Not the case here. Akim is saying, I am not guilty of these offenses. I did not commit the crimes that I am alleged to have committed, but that I'm a victim of my reputation.
He explained that Chief Magistrate Teddy St. Louis denied bail to Andrew, but says he's committed to a speedy trial.
From our side, the defense side, we will try and reach an accommodation with the prosecutor in that we want to make swift restitution if, in fact, the evidence does bear out that Akim did, in fact, commit these offenses. No, you would forgive me if I sound like a prosecutor when I say my client has a credibility issue. Yes? So I would want to see the documents that these charges are based on and form an opinion that I could advise my client what is in his best penal interest. Akim is saying I did not do this, but he is willing to return the man's money to him so that this matter is not prolonged in the court.
Sherry will continue to follow that story, and she'll bring us the updates as they become available. On Wednesday, the Honorable Leader of Her Majesty's Opposition, Mr. Tobias Clement, held court with the local media. He had a complaint. It stemmed from a reprimand of sorts over procedures.
The Constitution only advised me to go to the Governor General, not to anybody else. Recently, I have received a letter from the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House almost reprimanding me that I did not inform them of certain moves that I was making in the Houses of Parliament, vis-a-vis the appointment of my senators and the appointment of Ms. Joseph as my secretary. I mean, when did we get to the stage?
During a press conference on Wednesday, Opposition Leader Tobias Clement said he was apprehensive to the veracity of such a letter since he followed the guidance of the Constitution.
In my disposition as Leader of Her Majesty's Opposition, the only directive that I got from the Constitution was to advise the Governor General. The only directive that I got from the standing orders, which I also read and searched, is again to advise the Governor General, because the standing orders and the Constitution is on the same page. Neither the standing orders nor the Constitution gave me any guidelines towards the President of the Senate or the Speaker of the House.
The opposition leader told the media he believes there is an attempt being made to silence him.
I do believe that there is a concerted effort in Grenada, maybe to silence the leader of the opposition, or that there should be no leader of the opposition, and to make the voices of the people that are of like mind not heard.
Clement said he responded to the concerns raised by both houses of Parliament. In addition, he indicated his intent to make the documents public at the next press conference. GBN emailed the Clerk of Parliament requesting a comment following Clement's statements and received a response from Andrew Augustine saying, and I quote, "It is my understanding that GBN was represented in the press briefing, which was hosted by the Leader of Her Majesty's Opposition. Therefore, all questions pertaining to the claims during that briefing should be addressed to him." End of quote. Cherry Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Well, this past week seemed to have been dominated by reprimands, remands, and threats of legal action. Health Minister the Honourable Nicholas Steele announced that he was contemplating legal action against an individual who claimed that his business, a restaurant operating in the south of the island, was open beyond the curfew hours. He was responding to a video which was in circulation on social media claiming that a restaurant being operated by the minister or his associates was in breach of the Emergency Powers Act.
The individual who posted that has a dispute with us for services that he provided that were not done properly, and maliciously posted that, and we are in the process of, or we are contemplating legal action on the individual. Okay, well, both me personally and the establishment.
He says this was a malicious act on the part of the individual who made the post on social media.
There is absolutely no way that on that date in question or any of the days that my business was open beyond the 7 p.m. closing time. We were the first restaurant to close even before the government had mandated, and we were the last to open even after the protocols allowed reopening.
As we mentioned, there has been a petition online calling for the restoration of the public library. Joseph McKee-Smith has that one.
Education, education, this is the foundation. Our rising population needs sound education.
These lyrics of the Great Mighty Sparrow speak to the significance of education. A supporter of a petition to restore the dilapidated structure of the National Library shares similar sentiments to those profound lyrics. This supporter believes that the National Library plays a crucial role in the education of a nation's people, the country's citizens.
Well, I think, especially for Grenada, the library is a very important aspect, especially for educating the population, not just children, but for anybody of any age.
Another supporter of the petition highlighted the importance of the National Library.
It's important for accessing information, fostering and development of minds, and also for recording national events. I'll just give an example of the revolution. You don't want to have different stories or different sides. You want to have basically one documented story or one documented thing what happened toward the revolution.
Proponents have advanced various reasons for its restoration.
Governing bodies or the powers above should restore the National Library because I think it would lead to the development of our national education, because it would minimize illiteracy and be able to develop children literacy skills.
Students say the disconnect created by COVID-19 brings into sharp focus the need to have the library restored.
I know during the COVID-19, having to switch to online courses was very difficult for a lot of students living in Grenada. So Wi-Fi, are issues, and we're seeing that we have a lot of distractions at home and having to take exams. So during these difficult times, people have realized that they really, really depend on the SGU library. So having a community library right on the Karen edge, where it's accessible for a lot of students, would benefit, the students of Grenada, where they can have a safe place to go and study.
While some people are calling on governing bodies to undertake the necessary restoration work, others are debating the vision of Grenada's National Library. Some believe that the traditional elements should remain, while others feel that it should be modernized. Joseph McKee-Smith, GBN News.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way. From birth to graduation, your first job to your home, and your card through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and programs, including Financial Literacy Quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso Program, Junior Cooperatives in Secondary Schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC Grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Whenever we're faced with difficulties, we find comfort in those we know and trust. This is especially true when a loved one has died.
Welcome to Otway Bailey Funeral Home.
For over 100 years, Otway Bailey Funeral Home has helped families celebrate the lives of their loved ones with compassion and dignity. Our affordability, attention to detail, warm and caring staff has contributed us being the funeral home of choice for official and state funerals. We treat you as we would treat our own family. All of our services are designed to help you get through one of the most personal and challenging stages of life, whether it's planning a funeral, joining our burial society, or pre-arrangements. You can be assured of the Otway Bailey commitment to consistently provide the most caring and professional service possible with the best options and price. So call us 440-2558 or visit our website, otwaybaileyfuneralhome.org.
At Otway Bailey, we offer the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
At Dutch Lady, we give you delicious and nutritious milk. We make sure our milk is filled with essential nutrients, calcium, vitamins, and protein. Dutch Lady gives everyone in the family a strong start to the day. Keep your family healthy and happy. Dutch Lady, building strong families since 1871.
Distributed by Hubbard's Agencies, Kirani James Boulevard, St. George's.
The Esplanade Mall, something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time.
It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective way to prevent the spread of the new coronavirus is to clean your hands frequently with an alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. This will eliminate the virus if it is on your hands. Stay healthy and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
No, that's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Hi, I'm Francis Urias Peters. To really know who I am, you must look at the plays that I've written over the past 30 years, because they reflect hard work, discipline, and my inner beliefs. Now, these values were shaped by my earlier bringings, because I was always curious about my roots and my identity as a Caribbean man. Now, I'm a good listener, and K105 has always been a great source of education and entertainment. Now, while the station name may have changed over the years, it has always provided valuable information which enabled me as a playwright to document and to celebrate our history, our behavior, and our achievements. K105 is my choice. It's the national station.
See it first on GBN. All the stories, from politics to industrial unrest. Tourism.
Light it up. Light it up.
Nation to Grenada.
Entertainment. Sports and culture.
Great shot there of Anderson Peters from Grenada, the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist.
See more on GBN, your most credible source for information. Nightly at 7.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid.
Despite the struggles and fight, I smile every
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. Let's get right into it. It is Mouth Off Monday. Respectfully mouthing off on a Monday morning. Gonna let you know the topic and then you're gonna weigh in, speak your mind, speak your piece, respectfully do so. We have children listening and people who appreciate respect. Let's do this. This morning the topic, y'all guessed it, Guave. The situation in Guave, a police-involved shooting yesterday morning, God willing. One gentleman is currently hospitalized. A footballer in the parish of St. John. What are your thoughts on how it has escalated into protest and fiery protest. Let's say fiery protest in Guave yesterday, and members of the Guave community are calling for justice. What are your thoughts on the situation happening on the western side of the island? 435-2041. That's the landline number to call and participate. Share your thoughts. Mouth Off Monday. You can also share your opinion on the GBN Television Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, as well as on the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp is also 435-2041, but please, por favor, only written messages on the WhatsApp. No voice notes, no voice or video calls, no YouTube links, no Facebook links to videos with people protesting, no screenshots, no pictures, no nothing. Only written messages on the WhatsApp. Click, click, click on the keyboard on your phone or your tablet or laptop, whichever you're using on your device. Just written messages, letters and numbers. Use them, please. Thank you. That would be very much appreciated on the WhatsApp. All right, let's get into it. We have our first caller. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, don't seem to have that one. Your thoughts? We're talking about the situation on the western side of the island. Police-involved shooting, which has led to fiery protest on the lands. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right.
All right.
What I realize is taking place in the world today is people are going to be very cognizant of these facts. There is demonic forces over there, very raging in this time. We are living in the evil days, and these things are happening. It's not just happening. It's happening because of this kind of evil days we live in. And mankind is supposed to be very careful that they seek the Lord God for really safety in this time. It is a dangerous time. The things that are happening, don't just go about saying misleading, saying anything that someone might tell you, but be on the scene, because you never know what might happen. In the end, you might be very surprised to see what caused this situation. So let us all look to see and get the reality of what is taking place before anyone could go further on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. We're weighing in specifically on the situation in Guave. Police-involved shooting yesterday morning that have led to fiery protests. Respectfully mouth off this morning on Guave. Good morning.
Good morning, Sister Brenda. Sister Brenda, Sister Brasam.
Morning, Miss Jacob. How you do?
Well, I did the what's it? Well, Sister Brenda shoot?
You're only thinking about each other. That's what's happening. So what do you think about what's happening in Guave, Miss Jacob?
What happening in Guave? And people must try to self-control. If they're having a little get-together, as what I understand is 29th June. Well, if they're celebrating 29th June, they must have it in self-control. And then they will talk to some of those parents. These parents, and they must learn to control the children when they're small. You know, when they're small and you see they do not do something, it's not as children before, as in my time. And I have to say, we didn't used to behave normally too. We used to behave normally, but we used to frighten. Because what our parents telling us, hush, 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 and they knocking the partition. And when you hear the partition knocking, you thinking it's somebody outside that coming to take you, but it's them that knocking the partition and tell you shut up. Look, somebody who come to take you. Everybody gone in a corner who gone and hide and gone below bed.
Okay.
But children know it's different.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jacob. Thank you very much, Ms. Jacob. Enjoy your day.
All right, situation in Guelph, police involved shooting yesterday morning, God willing. A young man is currently hospitalized with a gunshot wound to his leg. He is a footballer, and members of the public are calling for justice, which has led to fiery protests in Guelph yesterday. What are your thoughts on the situation in Guelph? Let's see, let me check the social media. Somebody on WhatsApp says, I see that he shot the wrong person, and I understand if you want to protest, but burning things, I don't think that's acceptable. And then they still played music and had a good time. I don't think that's acceptable. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, I believe that the Guelph residents need to learn to respect the Royal Grenada Police Force. Look at the other incidents in Guelph concerning the residents disrespecting and assaulting the police in the previous days. Somebody else on WhatsApp. Too many callers try to explain what is happening by referring to the Bible or some other religious stuff that bear no relation to the social conditions that create the problem. Guelph people have to respect the law, and there are some imbeciles that support them. Back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
People generally have to respect each other, whether it be the police or the ordinary people. We have to respect each other. As far as I'm concerned, most people, perhaps in the whole world, everybody want to be a hero. They want to make some fame. And I find everybody been taught, as they say, they've been educated. But as far as I'm concerned, education would enable you to fit to live and fit to live with. That means you would obey the laws of the land, obey the laws of God, etc., etc. And as far as I'm concerned, if you don't obey the laws of the land or the laws of God, you would be punished. Maybe that's what happened in Grenada and elsewhere. That's punishment maybe from the omnipotent. I don't know. I believe in God. And we might consider things here as man-made, but God must be putting us to make changes. He might be giving us experiences so that we could make changes. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, these young people that have children, they might be 20 or 30 years, and they have 15 years children. So they cannot, I'm making a broad statement, they cannot, they are unable to train them. In fact, you see, people don't understand those things. We have a problem with discipline. Discipline, as they say, is a state of the mind. Nobody had to tell you, or should have to tell you, look, don't bar your mouth or bar your face. You should be able to understand what the benefit and the good or the bad about not doing that.
Okay.
So you have to be disciplined. It's a state of the mind. Some of us are not disciplined. We are ill-disciplined. In fact, let me just tell this. You might hear mothers telling their child, cuss a bad word. And when he tells you a bad word, they laugh. And they say he's making progress. He's growing up nice.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. The situation in Guelph, police involved shooting yesterday morning that led to fiery protests in Guelph St. John. What are your thoughts on the situation? Somebody on YouTube says, fight for your rights. Some cowards and police officers will say follow fashion and all kind of names. Keep your fight in the right direction. Somebody on Facebook, what is your point? Why pick on God Almighty? It's His breath you are breathing. That's in response to somebody who says, for 2,000 years we have help from this so-called Jesus. Oh, Lord. No. Not today. Somebody on WhatsApp says, I'm not saying the action was right, but I'm just going to say, if it was me, how would I feel if my innocent brother's son cousin was shot? And not only that, and not only shot but for no reason. Sometimes we have to put our foot in other shoes. So again, I'm not saying the actions were right, but the frustration. And I must say good job to the top cops. They went to Guelph not to arrest but to put peace. Mr. Commissioner, I admire you, your team. You and your team are doing a great job. Back to the phone line. Good morning.
A pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning.
Now I want to be clearly understood and to lay emphasis on what I heard. I learned to listen and to listen carefully. According to the news, I repeat, according to the news, the police was looking for the brother of A. They did not find the brother of A, but A was there and A happened to be shot. And I say in no uncertain terms, the police are wrong. You're looking for a particular, you make sure that the person you're looking for is the right person. And my argument is based on what I heard in the news. 1, 2, burning and all the rest of it don't solve the problem. And I am getting the impression that the policemen here are doing at the police in the United States. You're not trying to find this out and you're just shooting. According to what I heard on the news, I didn't hear anything else, and this is how I'm basing my argument. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. All right, this morning we're mouthing off. It's Mouth Off Monday. The situation in Guelph St. John, a police-involved shooting yesterday morning, which led to fiery protests in Guelph. What are your thoughts on the situation? Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
What I wanted to find out, are Guelph people exempted from social distancing and wearing of masks in public places?
Not that I know of.
Well, it seems so to me.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Weighing in on the Guelph situation, what are your thoughts on the happenings? Let me see what's on WhatsApp. The police is a big mistake. He shot the wrong person, then saying wrong man. Our lives matter. Police need to respect us all as well. No justice, no peace. Rioting is totally unacceptable. Respect yourself. Protest is okay, but protest peacefully. Mouthing off this morning, the police officers who shot the footballer need to be charged for attempted murder. This level of incompetence is asinine. It is very possible that this innocent man's football career will be cut short due to his injury. Protest. Somebody else on WhatsApp, I think the blocking of streets and burning of trash was uncalled for. Many of the people exposed themselves without masks, a set of copycats. Some Guelph people too unruly and only looking for an excuse to behave disorderly. Back to the phone line. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing wonderfully well despite having endured an injury yesterday that had me the casualty.
Oh, my.
And I'm getting ready to go back this morning to get an x-ray done. But
hope it turns out well.
Pardon?
Hope it turns out well.
Yes, I think so. I'm feeling much better this morning. Thank God.
Good. Right.
Yeah, but I cannot comment too much on this incident because I don't know which part of the world I was in, but I'd never heard about this incident at all.
Okay.
But I don't have the facts, so I can't really comment too much. But what I can say is that the Bible did say that these things are going to happen. In Matthew chapter 24 speaks of wars and rumors of wars and pestilence and all sorts of things, earthquakes and what's not. Now the Bible speaks about those things. And the Bible also says that when we see these things happening in Matthew 24, it says, this is the beginning of sorrows. This is not the end. So could you imagine it's going to get worse? So in the midst of all the chaos and confusion that is happening, I want to tell people that Jesus Christ is coming real, real soon. I mean, sooner than ever, because we've been hearing that ever back when all our grandparents and so on been saying, Jesus Christ is coming soon. Well, hello, he is coming even sooner right now, And if people are not prepared, they're going to get left because there is something called the rapture. And the rapture is going to take place any moment right now. In the midst of the chaos and confusion, the rapture is going to take place. And if people are not born again, if people are not saved, if people are not having a relationship with Christ, I'm not talking about churchgoers, you know. I'm not talking about people who go to church every Sunday. I'm talking about people who are truly born again, people who have a relationship with Christ, and people who are looking forward to his coming. If they are not in that place, they're getting left, you know. And I'm sorry to say, it will be really hard to give your heart to Christ after the rapture takes place. It's not that you would not be able to give your heart to Christ, but you'll be persecuted.
All right.
So, Blossom, all I can ask is that the church community pray for our nation. That is what is going to bring about the change, and people need to repent. People need to repent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. This morning we are talking about the situation in Guelph. The caller said she was not aware of the situation, so let me just impart a little knowledge. The Royal Grenada Police Force went to a home yesterday morning during the early hours of Sunday, and one young man was shot in his leg. He is currently hospitalized. Members of the Guelph community were protesting the incident. Some are saying they took a little while before they carted him off to the general hospital to seek medical assistance, to the Guelph Health Center before he was taken to the hospital. Others are saying it was a case of mistaken identity, and that has led to protests in Guelph. There were marches from the lands to in front of the Guelph police station. There were things set ablaze on the streets of the lands. I recall seeing some wooden pallets and a refrigerator, old fridge, that were set on fire as part of the protest in the middle of the street in Guelph, St. John. What are your thoughts on the situation? Share with us, mouth off with us, respectfully mouth off this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Jeremiah.
I didn't hear the news. I only heard the headlines, and I heard what you mentioned.
Right.
But we do not. I want to, first of all, let me endorse all that the last caller said. I want to endorse it. But this world is so near to the end of the age as we know it that we don't understand. A lot of people just living their life as if nothing's happening, everything is going to go on as normal. People better take note. The Bible, according to your last caller, the Bible said these things will happen in the last days, and we're not taking heed. We see this coronavirus come, and we don't know it was done for purpose. It didn't just happen. It didn't drop from the sky. It was a virus that was made for that purpose, to get people to take the mark of the beast. But you see, Satan trying to preempt the prophecy, the times of the prophecies. This is not his time. He wanted to do it before the time to catch a lot of people who are born again. Because they know it's a virus, they want to take the vaccine, not knowing the mark of the beast was in it. So this violence that is taking place, or this disturbance that is happening, I wondered when it will happen in Grenada, and I keep praying that God, it would not go further than where it is. We have to pray in this country. Grenadians need to repent from top to bottom. The whole nation, the church in particular, needs to repent. Ask God for mercy, for forgiveness, for deliverance, and pray so that people could give their life to Christ. So when the rapture takes place, the whole of Grenada should go, because we call ourselves a Christian nation. So when Jesus sung the trumpet and we arise, the whole nation should go. So there should be nobody left in Grenada. And this is what I would like to happen. I would like to ask Grenadians, these things are going to happen. They are predicted. They can't stop it. But we can pray that it will minimize and give their lives to Jesus. I covered the people of Goa with the blood of the Lamb. That's where I'm from. I'm a Goa girl. So I identify with Goa. I'm sorry for what happened there. But Goa people, God loves you. God loves Goa. He loves the whole of the world. But there's something special about St. John and Goa that Jesus loved. Remember, all the apostles were fishermen. And most of them were fishermen. And then that's where, you see where God went to get these disciples. His first disciples came from the fishing area.
Okay.
So I just want them to repent. Ask God to forgive your sins, so you could be delivered and prepare to meet thy God.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Jeremiah. Let me go to some of the social media comments. Somebody on YouTube says the big question is who is investigating the police? The police? That's the comment. Facebook. So did the police just go up and shoot that guy, or he was getting on? Nobody don't know what happened. Somebody else on Facebook says we need to stop this thing about Guelph people. They are Grenadians, period. Stop diminishing people. No, sorry. Stop demonizing people. I thought they said it was the Republic of Guelph. I thought all they said was the Republic of Guelph. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Let me go on the WhatsApp. We'll take a break shortly. We understand that the police shot the wrong person. Now, this was not just a protest. It went from that to a carnival jam, drinking, gyrating, smoking, etc. Somebody else says, I supported the move to protest and I can support the wrongful shooting, but I think that protest went from we want justice to we want party real quick. Registration? No, I'm not sure. Guelph people too disorderly. I'm seeing a bunch of people following people. It looked really bad, and for Grenada on a whole, blocking roads, burning things. Come on. That's not the way I understand the incident. That's not the way. I understand the incident and they're upset. I am too, but it's just looking stupid. Rioting is unacceptable. That's not protesting. Copycats. Somebody else on WhatsApp says the whole thing is wrong with Fisherman's Birthday. It's not a celebration, it's a Thanksgiving and blessings of boats, exhibition, seaports. So Guelph people is going in the wrong direction. Somebody else on WhatsApp, I'm really sorry for what happened, but I think that the people should let the law take its course. And let's take a break, and then we're going to come back to some more of the WhatsApp comments as well as the phone lines. This is Mouth Off Monday on Good Morning Grenada. We're talking about the Guelph incident yesterday. Stick and stay. We will be right back to the program in a short.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
It is important to know what your road signs and markings means. The zigzag lines means you should not park in the marked area. Parking is allowed inside the solid white lines on the edge of the road. Remember, look out for pedestrians. Pedestrians, be sure the vehicle comes to a complete stop before crossing. These tips can save your life. These tips can make our roads safer for all users. Be safe, be seen, be smart. A message from the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
Hi, I'm Francis Urias Peters. To really know who I am, you must look at the plays that I've written over the past 30 years, because they reflect hard work, discipline, and my inner beliefs. Now, these values were shaped by my earlier bringings, because I was always curious about my roots and my identity as a Caribbean man. Now, I'm a good listener, and K105 has always been a great source of education and entertainment. Now, while the station name may have changed over the years, it has always provided valuable information which enabled me as a playwright to document and to celebrate our history, our behavior, and our achievements. K105 is my choice. It's the national station.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. It's Mouth Off Monday. This morning we're talking about the Guelph situation. What do you think? Let's go right back to the phone lines. Good morning.
What's up, sister?
Good morning, I'm good.
I never heard about this incident. I just hearing about it. I just tuned to you,
Okay.
So what happened over there?
What had happened was there was a shooting yesterday morning, a police-involved shooting. The police went into a home in Guelph, St. John, and one young man suffered a gunshot wound to his leg. He is currently hospitalized. And following the shooting, members of the Guelph community led protests in the community with burning debris in the middle of the road and leading marches. The protests also including Ambassador Mr. Killer, Hollis Map, a.k.a. Mr. Killer. He was also part of the protest.
Okay. She said, I just got to laugh. I realized the police in Grenada anytime, because last Wednesday, I think the acting commissioner of police was on, I think it was on WFM. So I make a contribution, and all the police was listening, and I realized anytime I talk against the police, you have some guys over there, they want to say, okay, well, who more bad? This is what's going on, sister. They tell us, well, they're better than the civilian, because I was talking about the incident of past, like way back in, I think it was 2000 something, some accident in the Cafe France area. A Rasta brother get gunned down, a Rasta brother get gunned down Tivoli, and there, And I say, well, a friend was saying that there is good police. I said, the only good police are dead police. And these guys are in Grenada who call themselves officers. They tell themselves, okay, well, who better than who? That one play out there. That play out there, they better than, because a few years ago, I was in Granville, and I was doing like a shopping in one of them small business place. And two guys came and they just, when I was cashing, two of them, I don't know who were the two guys, if it was police officer or whatever. So the woman was shopping, what was cashing me. She said, what you guys want? So she identified me as a police. She said, look at police. I said, excuse me? I said, police. I said, bad man and police cannot be friends. So one of them, and even though one of them was a police, so he said, boy, what do you buy your body smelling bad? I said, excuse me? I said, you're a fool. You hear bad man and police cannot be friends, and you identify yourself as a police officer. So them tell themselves, no, they're better than the civilian. This is what took place, because every time you come to the media, you talk about the police want to say, okay, they're better than you. This is nonsense happening up there, sister. The police have been killing people all over the world, and they say, let the law take its course. This is nonsense. Law take course. This is nonsense. For me, sister, bullet for bullet, and I don't talk.
Okay. All right, let's go to the WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, police again. I think the police sometimes have to use their discretion and their judgment, especially the officer who was involved in the shooting. It is alleged that that same officer was in 2 previous shootings, which makes me think that if the RGPF goes under psychological evaluation in their training and after a shooting incident, I think the RGPF needs to look into the way they train these young recruiters. Also, I think the people have the right to vent their anger. It was just a matter of time. It was like a bomb waiting to explode. The police been too often in the news of plenty of wrongdoing. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, good morning, I would like to know what led up to the police shooting this young guy. We always share a one-sided story. The RGPF is yet to put out an official release as to the situation, but according to investigations, it was determined that the police were in search of the victim's brother. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, if it is where the police shot wrong person, they need to do better. It is upsetting, yes, and protesting is fine. But when you're destroying your own town, it makes no sense because they would still have to live there after. That's why the police does not take them seriously. They just use that as an excuse to have fit. I love, respect, and have confidence in the police. When I heard that Mr. Superintendent Vanny Cohen had to negotiate with Mr. Killer and others about unblocking the road. Shame on the police. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, one question, the citizens that are instigating and protesting, do y'all know what really happened? Do you guys know who was in the wrong, or y'all just running with a story? Because according to civilians, the police were always wrong and terrible until we need them. Why don't they protest and tell their neighbors to respect the police and don't obstruct the police when they come to execute their duties? Back to the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning, welcome. Thanks for having me on the line.
No problem.
What I'm saying is that, the police, well, not only the police, you can't give the police the blame only, because next people just go inside people's house and make mischief too. Anytime you go inside a man's house without the man's permission and make trouble, you wrong, right? So the police wrong 100%. And other people just take chance and go inside the next man's house. If they know well, a woman they inside the house, they go and want to fight with the man, and the woman and say the woman is the own. But no man own no woman. The only time a man own a woman die when the woman dead, because the woman could leave and go anytime. So then, back to you in St. George.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bado. You have yourself a blessed day today. Let me see YouTube. Somebody on YouTube says, far too much violence in the world. Cast such out of Grenada. Somebody says, I am from Guav, but Guav people too lawless. They need some self-control. Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, I am wondering whether the protesters know the facts. Our people have become copycats. Why can't they protest peacefully? Then why did the police have to negotiate to get the road unblocked? The people were violating the law, so therefore they were wrong to block the road. Still on Facebook, how can you protest peacefully when the police shot a young man and leaves him bleeding like an animal without arresting him and taking him into custody, thereby rendering him medical treatment? They treated the dog that got killed in Fort Judy better than the human being. Another Facebook comment, I think the police can't go to arrest someone with the wrong identification and shoot the wrong person. What is the justification for that mistake that's been made? I think the acting commissioner has to look into the training the officers receive. Too often innocents like these happen. Some resulted in the death of someone and nothing comes out of it. I think there should be an independent body, including the citizens, lawyers, and members of the RGPF, to deal with these incidents and other related issues. WhatsApp comment, somebody says, Guav people too unruly. Back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Morning, Blossom. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Based on what I've heard with the incident, I mean, it is, they say mistaken, but police should be a little more careful when they're doing their duties, especially in Grenada, because once the person have a gun, you could call your forces and pull them together and do what you have to do if you have to arrest the person. But also what I would like to say is that I hope that just as the police went up in Guav and tried to calm the situation, they should not wait for the family to have to get a lawyer to deal with the situation. They should sit with the family and discuss what happened and try to compensate them in accordance, because the young man is a very talented young man, and he would not be able to display or be able to get opportunities in his life in a short space of time. So don't let it go to the courthouse. Just as you sit with the guys yesterday, sit with the family and discuss the issues and try your best to see how you could work together with them to support the family and to help out the situation. On the other hand, so many people are saying it's end of time. I want the people who are saying end of time and all of what is going to happen, that Jesus is here. Appreciate him right now. He is here right now, because Jesus himself says that the Father has not told him when the end of time would come. So how do we know? So Jesus is present with us. Appreciate him right now. Do the best you can to follow his teachings. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, caller. Let's go back to the WhatsApp. While I don't have the facts, I believe the blocking of the street was unwarranted, and it shows the level of lawlessness in our country among the young people. If it was a question of wrong identity, the folks in Guelph should have allowed the high rankings of the RGPF to do their investigation. We must not be copycats because it was shown in the US and lately in Trinidad. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, my take on that is the way the police handled the situation after shooting the wrong person. Why did they not seek medical assistance immediately for him? But the way the people took the wrong approach. Somebody else on WhatsApp, these are the last days and we have to take heed of our lives. The word of God says when we see all things come to pass, we will have to look up because our redemption is near. I believe that some police officers need to be restrained and taught that their job is to protect and serve the people. It is not a show of power. The gun is to be used as last resort. If the person is not armed and dangerous, there is absolutely no need for a gun to be included into the equation. I want to know bus driver and conductor are not afraid to tell passengers to wear their mask. I want the police to check that out. I think the DJ should be charged for having music on the streets. There were no social distancing. What is going on? Good morning, Special Grenadians. Peace, perfect peace. I don't want to mislead. Do we know exactly what happened? I don't think the police is crazy. I'm not going to be up in arms and say the police is totally wrong. All right, final two comments. Is it possible to give an update on Fort Judy? I do not have any of the latest updates on Fort Judy. Did the brother of the young man give up himself to the police? I am not sure. Writer, final, let me see, maybe. Why police must have high-powered weapons to intimidate our citizens? Everybody knows who are the bad boys. Shame on police tactics. Okay, this is the last WhatsApp comment. I think this morning the police should have a news conference and address that incident. Sometimes they take too long to address these situations, which causes things to escalate more. Let me run through the social media and ensure. Final comment on the Facebook. Good morning. Where's the Minister of National Security? The issue at Fort Judy and Guelph are security matters. They have to be addressed by the person with that portfolio. All right, those are the final comments. Let me see. There was a piece of information that I got this morning as we prepare for the BBC. Okay, I understand that a news conference will be held this afternoon in Guelph, St. John, by an attorney at law. I am not sure how we would be able to carry the information on our various platforms, but if it's possible, we would facilitate, but I cannot guarantee. I repeat, I cannot guarantee. So stay tuned just in case. Thank you guys so much for participating. And as we wrap up this morning, I just want to reiterate what I said this morning. Let good sense prevail. We have our voices to speak out, and we have freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and we are free to express ourselves how we think we would be heard. But please, let's do so responsibly. Let's do so with the main aim in mind. If your main aim is justice, let that be the focus. Let good sense prevail. Have yourselves a blessed Monday. Let's join the BBC for the 8 a.m. newscast. Bye, everybody. Bye. Yeah, tell me we roll out to that one.
'Cause there won't be